What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome in, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. Back for Stage 4B, Race Like a Champ series. Just finished up 4A and released that video a couple days ago, so check that one out first if you haven't seen it yet. But this is our second race. About 10 minutes off the bike in between races. Should be pretty much the same group of people. Another short, punchy one, so this one is on the Cobbled Climbs reverse in Richmond, 9.3 kilometers long, 5.8 miles with 132 meters of elevation gain. Takes us up a few climbs. So we got the 23rd Street climb, we got the Libby KOM reverse, and then we finish off on Main Street. So guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining. If you would take a minute though, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's free to do, really helps me out as a creator. So thanks for watching these videos, and definitely feel free to leave any comments below if you have any questions or feedback on these videos. Really just enjoy kind of growing the Zwift community, so having a lot of fun with it. Starting off with a quick super tuck. I believe this Cobbled Climbs reverse is an event-only route. Could be wrong there, but I think it is. I haven't raced it kind of on my own before. I've done a lot of the Zwift Richmond races that are the full UCI course, so that one's a little bit longer, hits more of the flat sections along with these punchy climbs, but this one it's a shorter route and really just focuses on the punchy climbs. So took advantage of the downhill section. It's a fast start, already 1 kilometer in. We got 48 riders here. We had about 65 for the first race, so looks like we've lost a few of them this time around, but goal remains the same. I was pretty happy with my finish in round 1. I got 5th place in Zwift Power out of those 60-some odd riders. I started my sprint a little bit too early, hitting an aero power up, and got past just before the finish, but overall happy with the result. So jumped off the bike for about 10 minutes, kept pedaling for a little bit, then walked around, just tried to get the heart rate down before jumping back into this one. This one is the longer ride. The first one was just under 6 kilometers. This one's over 9. So hoping I have enough energy left after the initial effort, and we'll find out pretty quickly. So enjoyed that super tuck at the very start of the race, but immediately into the climb. So this is the 23rd Street climb that comes first. These first 2 climbs are both pretty steep. This 23rd Street climb steep, and then the Libby Hill KOM reverse, I believe, hits a grade at one point of 22%, which is pretty high, one of the highest within Zwift. So goal again is just sit in the middle as much as possible, kind of around 300 to 400 watts to stick with this front group on the first climb. No reason to be out front pushing wind. Really no reason to. It gets strung out on these climbs. I don't want to fall back too much that I get dropped, but I know it'll all come back together pretty quickly. So no reason to feel like I need to be in that first 2 or 3 riders. It should all group back up. So pushed pretty hard. Heart rate's up to 186 beats per minute. It really got up high this race. So that was probably in part because of the earlier effort in the previous race, but not too worried with where I'm at right now. There's that group of 4 or 5 off the front, but a large group behind willing to do some work to push. So I'll sit in with them and we'll try to get this back together if possible. It speeds up down this hill. My legs are really starting to feel it, and so are the lungs. Definitely more than I was expecting, I'll have to say, but got the speed up. Looks like we'll join in with this front group and see what we have for the next climb. So immediately don't get too much rest there, and we jump into, this is now the Libby Hill KOM reverse. So this will take us up to that sprint banner at the end of Libby Hill if we were going around the normal direction. This one kind of caught me by surprise a little bit. I've always done this route in the opposite direction, and it's amazing how you don't really notice as much when it's a downhill. You enjoy kind of the draft and the speed downhill, but the second you turn it around and you have to pedal uphill, you really start to feel it. So I wasn't expecting this one to be quite as steep as it was. Again, we're not even 5 minutes into this race, but this is where I really kind of bonked. All of a sudden, we hit that like 17-18% grade there, and it got pretty hard for me to turn over the pedals. The heart rate's still at 185, 186, so it's been pretty high for the first 4 minutes of this race, really showing that I hadn't fully recovered from that first race. And all of a sudden I find myself in no man's land. So if I'm looking at that map on the top right, it's completely strung out. We have some leaders already starting to go down Libby Hill. It's pretty single file, and I'm hurting. So I'm really not immediately trying to jump in with any of these single riders passing me. I'm just trying to get that heart rate to a more manageable level, see where I end up, and see kind of what I can do for the rest of the race. I know we're coming up to this downhill section of Libby Hill, so I want to be with a group if possible when going down that portion of the course, just because it will increase the speeds quite a bit. But honestly, I'm hurting. Just over 3 kilometers into the race, but we've already hit kind of the 2 bigger climbs. They're really short, punchy climbs, but really took everything out of me, I think, from pushing watts in the first race, like I said, and now these 2 here. I'm struggling. It hasn't been a lot of kilometers, but I really just haven't built up my endurance enough, obviously, to be able to stick with that front group here. So going down Libby Hill, kind of on my own. Now it's really time to settle in. Kind of the worst is out of the way. I'll super tuck here for a few seconds if I can. But now it's important to find a group. So I lost the front group. There's kind of riders all over the place, still trying to find exactly where they are, who to work with, as we start kind of a more manageable flat section. So actually we'll go ahead and skip forward. I kind of bounced between a few groups over those last few kilometers. So now we're with just 1 kilometer left in the race, but I stuck with one group of 3 or 4 and then kind of just wasn't able to do work and wasn't able to keep pushing. So dropped back again, found myself in no man's land, and now getting caught by another group. So at this point, we're so close to the finish that I'm kind of going to put in everything I have left just to try to stick with that group. There's another group behind, looks like 23, 27 seconds. So I know that at just 0.7 kilometers left, I should be able to stay in front of them. So I'll give everything I have to join this final group at the end. Again, this race really hurt. I was thinking back after the race, once I caught my breath, and I honestly couldn't remember a Zwift race that I was hurting this bad, kind of at the end of this race, but even for the 5 to 10 minutes afterwards, I just wasn't really feeling myself. So this one truly took it out of me. But I guess I just learned to fight another day. Really trying to build up the endurance. So here we come, 200 meters left. Group of 5. I stand up and just put in everything I have. Spiked up to 884, which was higher than I was originally thinking. Was able to fend them off, but the second I crossed the line, I was just draped over the handlebars. It took me a while to get the energy to get off the bike and start walking around, but this was a tough one. Definitely not the result I was looking for. Watts per kg were low, but something to build on, guys. Still enjoy racing, having a lot of fun. It's not easy. There's a lot of work to do, so I want to get back up to the top level of C, and I got to start building endurance to do that. So guys, thanks for hanging in for this commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back out there on Zwift soon. So guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Cadman Cycling. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.